I want to back up my Linux Mint Mate computer, and Linux Mint has something called the Backup tool. To get to the Backup tool, I'll go into Menu, Administration, Backup tool. I'll need to type in the root password and press OK. From here, I can back up files or back up the software. Let's back up some files. I'm going to click on the Backup Files and then the source. We see that it takes us right to the root file. It's not suggesting that we back up the root file. It's only bringing us here because we just typed in the root password. I'm going to click on Other, Michael, and Downloads. Open, and the source file that I want to back up is my Downloads folder. The destination, I will add a destination folder out there. I'm going into File, Create Folder, and I will call this Backup. And I'm going to add one more, and I'm going to call this one Backup Tar. Now I'm going back to my destinations. Other, Michael, and there's our backup folder. Down below that, we have advanced options. The description. The description, we can type in a description of what this backup is for, but at this time, this description does nothing. It's not read by the Caja file manager, and it's not read when we're restoring from a backup. Hopefully in a future release, they will make this description available somewhere else. The output, preserve structure. We're going to leave this at preserve structure right now, and the overwrite won't matter. We have confirm integrity checked, preserve permissions, and preserve timestamps. Let's go forward. I don't want to exclude anything. I'll click forward. And here it's given us a summary. We're going to back up this file here, our downloads, into the backup folder. No compression, and this last one won't matter at this time. Let's apply. And it's taken a backup. I'll close this, open up the home file, look in our backup, and we see our backup of our downloads file. I'm going to delete the file ODB15 Pictures 300px. And I'm going back into the downloads folder, and I want to update this ODT43B after watermark. I'm just going to add in a space or two just so it updates that timestamp. So we see the timestamp is Thursday, October 15th. That's today. I'm going to close this and make that backup again, going into Administration, Backup Tool, Backup Files, make that source file the downloads, and make the destination the backup file. Now in these advanced options, what I'm going to change is I want to preserve the structure, but this overwrite. What this means is if it finds it on the backup file already, I will never update it. I will check the size. If there's a size mismatch, it will update that file. If the modification time is changed, it will update that. There's a checksum, and then there's always, which just means copy everything and put it into the backup file. I'm going to choose never. What never will do will create the file that we deleted off, and we updated that date on that ODT file. That will not get updated because we said never. So if it finds a file in the backup already, it should not update that. All the rest is the same. Forward. I'm not going to exclude any files. I'll click forward. Here we see from the downloads to the backup, preserve the structure, and overwrite destination files never. I'll click apply, and that went pretty quick, quicker than the first backup. Closing that, looking at our backup, we have our ODB 15 pictures file once again, and this ODT 43 has a date of Monday, August 17th. So it was not updated, just as we expected. Let's do one more backup. This time, administration, backup tool. This time in the backup file, I will do the same thing. Go into Michael, downloads, and then the destination file, I'm going to change this one to the other file that we created, this backup-tar. Then in the advanced options, I'm going to change the output from preserve structure to one of these tar files. We've got tar, tarbz2, and targz. These options are similar to the zip file option in Windows. So we want to zip up this file, make it smaller, and if we've got a large backup, we will want it to take up the least amount of space possible. That would be using the tar.bz2. The overwrite doesn't matter because this will be a first backup. I will leave all these defaults checked. Forward. I'm not going to exclude anything. We see our downloads folder will be backed up into the backup-tar, and the compression is .tar.bz2. Let's apply this. It's done. Looking in the backup, there it is, all zipped up. So those are the basics for the backup file. Now let's do a backup for real, meaning I will put it on an external hard drive. I've added a flash drive where I want to back up my data to. I'm going into administration, backup tools. I'm going to back up the files, the source files. I want these to be, I'm going into the file system, home folder. I want to back up my entire home folder. I'm going to make the destination. I will make this my backup. And on the advanced options, I'm going to make this a .tar.bz2. Leave these defaults down here. But I do want to exclude a directory. I want to exclude the Jack directory because this one is encrypted. I'll get errors if I try and back up this folder. The Jill and the Michael home folders should back up without any problems. This is showing that I'm excluding the Jack folder. So our source is the home. The destination is my backup drive. Compression. The overwriting doesn't matter because this is the first time we're creating the file. And we're going to exclude home/Jack. Let's apply this. And our backup is completed successfully. There was one other thing in the backup tool that I want to look at. Administration, backup tool. And that is the backup software selection. I want to back up our software as well. We're only given a destination here because it's going to grab it out of what is already installed on our computer. I am going to put this into the My Backup. It's scanning the software right now. It's found it. I can select all, deselect everything, and I can check them if I only want selected software. I want everything, so I'm going to apply this. And it says your software selection was backed up successfully. So we do have a successful backup of our software. Let's take a minute to look at what was backed up. Remember that we updated LibreOffice with a PPA. I added Chromium web browser. and Opera. Under the games, not in a video, I added SuperTux Kart. Under the graphics, we have Blender 2.76. Now I added this one with a PPA, and this other one, Pinta. This one I added with a PPA as well. It's version 1.6. The version in the Software Center is 1.3. That really doesn't work well. If you like using Paint.net, Pinta is very close to it. In fact, I believe it's built on the same framework as Paint.net. I also added in the screensavers. So when we restore this in a few videos, we'll see how that all works out. We're not going to restore this in the next video, but we will restore from this backup. So make your backup and set it aside somewhere safe where we can get to it in a few videos. If you like these videos, please tell a friend.